welcome to On Air with Russell of Hotels, where we talk about everything hospitality, from hotels to influencers and everything in between. We will feature guest interviews with hospitality professionals who will share their experiences. Your host, Russell Edmond, has spent over 25 years in the hospitality industry, beginning his career with Marriott International in hotel operations before moving into the sales arena and becoming a relationship building director of sales and marketing. Russell then went to the other side as a hospitality entrepreneur. He now consults in the hotel and meeting space, which includes being the CEO of Russell of Hotels Group. Did I mention he was a veggie foodie? Yes. Russell is always looking for good non-meat eats. Please welcome your host, Russell Edmond.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels, live hospitality talk show. I thank you so much for joining us today. And yes, we are one of the top 30 podcasts for hospitality in 2021. Yeah, it's a podcast thing, right? So I want to thank you guys so much. Just trying a little something different, little different kind of vibe. So I appreciate you guys hanging with me. Give me some feedback on that. Let me know how that whole thing turned out. Let me just make sure I have my comments going on here. We got new things going here. Somebody once said, not somebody, but a cousin of mine. It's been about a month ago. He said, "Man, I can't believe you do all this stuff. You're right. You produce. You do this." He said, "How's that even possible?" I'm like, I don't know. It's a good thing I have this confined space here where I can push these buttons and just use one hand. Because if you guys saw the setup here, you'd be like, man, how does he get all this stuff done? And he's by himself. Because some people have multiple people helping them. I have me, myself, and I. That's it. But I love doing it. I love bringing this show every week. It's show number 156. Today is Tuesday, April 19th. What is April 19th? That it's my daughter's birthday. I'm not even going to just, beat around the bush. It's my daughter's birthday. So I want to wish her a happy birthday. Not that she watches the show or listens to the show at all. But maybe I'll tell her that, maybe you want to listen to the show today because I gave you a shout out. But, that doesn't faze her. So she's like, oh, okay. Oh, really? Okay. Thank you, Lonnie. I appreciate it. Hey, just so you guys know, before I get back into with my daughter and her birthday, I'd welcome comments. This is an interactive show. I do appreciate people making comments. My man, Lonnie Wolf, I always appreciate him making his comments and having some things to say during the show, the podcast, or whatever you want to call it, hospitality talk show. So, if I stop what I'm saying and say and address one of the questions or a comment, that's basically what I mean by, I welcome, comments and things like that. So Lonnie Wolf says, happy birthday to my daughter. So my daughter's name is Deja, D-E-J-A, like deja vu, Deja Renee Edmond. Okay, so I want to just wish her a happy 25th birthday. Yeah, I know it's hard to believe that I have a 25-year-old, but, it is what it is, right? So, but no. The funny thing is, while she was in school doing her undergrad and now she's working on her master's, right? She has held hospitality jobs, right? Had nothing to do with me. I didn't mention anything. She just says, I'm serving. I'm doing a server position for the, when she was at Xavier, she did catering, right? So she was a banquet server. Okay, I said, okay, all right, that's a tough job, but she did that, and then now at ASU, she has a part-time job as she started off as a hostess at a restaurant. Now she wants to be a server. She expedites and all this kind of stuff. So I said, don't get caught up in this, okay? All right. That's nice. The money's good. It's quick. It's good, blah, blah, blah. But that ain't what you're here for, okay? So, but no, it was just interesting that, she has held at least 2, maybe 3 jobs that are within the hospitality space. So, hey, I'm proud that she works, right? That's the good thing, right? So, and she that the hospitality job would have been the last job I'm trying to look for, right? So, but anyway, hey, different strokes, But I went to college, and that's what my degree is in, hospitality management, right? But I waited to the end of my, when I had to have 800 hours in order to get out of school. You had to have 800 hours of work experience before you can get out, right? So I waited to the last minute to almost do that. So, but anyway, but the rest they say is, I mean, hey, this is what happened. Everything worked out okay, right, for me. But I just had to throw that out there. But happy birthday to Deja again, 25. We have some more good things coming about her. But now that she's done these hospitality jobs, maybe I can have her come on the show. Maybe we can talk about, the life of a hostess or a server. You know what I mean? So maybe we can do that. So, but anyway, and I asked her at this restaurant she works at now, I said, do they have non-meat eats? And she said, they may have the non-meat eats, but they don't cook them in, they're not cooking them in vegetable oil. Okay, so they're doing things that, that I wouldn't eat. Okay, but anyway, there you go. So anyway, once again, what is this? Show number 156. We are live on YouTube. This is like I think we've been on YouTube about a month straight now, maybe 3 weeks. But so we're live on YouTube. I'll post the same thing, the same video onto LinkedIn after it's over. This is a podcast as well. So once it's done, it will be available on Google, Spotify, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Just On Air with Russell of Hotels, and you will find it. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I always forget to say that, right? So if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're listening on another platform, because I put it on LinkedIn, I put it on Facebook, I put it on Twitter, I put it on everything. But if you would come to YouTube and click that subscribe button, so every time I post something, you'll get a notification, or every time I go live or the show, you get a notification. So boom, there you go. So Lonnie says, the button-up shirt, I must say you look like you're ready for a movie role, Mr. Russell. Okay, Lonnie, thank you. I appreciate that. See, the comments are always about, the comments about anything. So that's good. I like that. But no, thank you. I bought like 4 of these shirts, right? 4 that have the button up. I don't know. I kind of like it, right? I kind of like the look and how it fits. So thank you, Lonnie. I appreciate that, because it was definitely, when I saw these shirts, I was like, I got to get a couple of those, right? So, but anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So what's up here? Click on the thing here, Russell, so we can get it going. Industry stuff. Am I that far already? Am I on the industry stuff? Oh, and my daughter says that she's gonna go. I said, well, what are you gonna do for your birthday? She said, we're gonna go to. They open up a Top Golf near where she lives, right? So they're gonna go check that out. So I'm like, oh, okay. I've never. There's one in Vegas, but I've never been to. And they just opened up one here in El Segundo. I think El Segundo / Manhattan Beach, right on Sepulveda, right past the airport. So it would be south of LAX. So they opened up a Top Golf there, but I haven't been. I've never been to one, but people always say they have a good time. It's basically, golf and drinks and eats. So there you go, right? So I got to check out the menu, make sure they have some good non-meat eats for me. But anyway, that's what she's going to be doing today. So have a good time, and always, as always, be safe. Okay. So, okay. Who's your best advocate? I asked this question last week to Michelle Carlin, who was on my show, and she was like, I said, this is not a trick question, but who's your best advocate? And she answered it right. You are, right? I'm my best advocate. So that's why I do the things that I do. That's why I post things, because if I don't believe in what I'm doing, no one's going to believe what I'm doing. So it's the same with anyone else. But anyway, industry stuff. Hey, what the no mask mandate on planes has been lifted, or there's no more mask mandate on planes in the U.S. So every major, I'm sure everyone did, but every major, Southwest, United, American, JetBlue, all of them basically have lifted that. They've done away with it, so you can get on the plane without a mask. And I'm happy for the flight attendants because those are the ones that had to deal with a bunch of crap. I mean, you've seen the videos, right, of people acting up on planes because they didn't want to wear a mask or whatever. Hey, it's for your own safety. That's the thing that gets me. If it's just for your own safety, just wear it and and be done with it. But anyway, we don't have to worry about that anymore. At least now, so let's knock on wood that this doesn't happen again, where we have to go back to the old way of doing things for the last 2 years. So the mask mandate is no more in the U.S. I'm sure international, maybe other than China right now, will probably follow suit, but we'll just wait and see. And congrats to Miss Maria. I want to say Barragan. Now she works with Dylan. Okay, now I'm not sure you guys know Dylan. Dylan is the GM at the Fairfield Inn in Eugene, Oregon. Go Ducks! Right down the street from University of Oregon, and she received her was a certified hospitality housekeeping executive distinction or designation. I just happened to see this. See, this is the thing, the power of social media, right? I don't talk to Dylan, I mean, other than he comes on the show and makes comments, and we, may send instant messages and things like that to each other. But I've never really had a conversation with Dylan. But he posts things about his hotel and about his staff. And he posted something this morning about Miss Barragan. And I said, you know what? I'm going to post that. I'm just going to give her a quick shout out. So, because that's huge, right? So congratulations to Maria. Like I said, she received her CHHE designation or distinction, which means she's, in housekeeping, she's it, right? So she knows her stuff. She's gone through all the tests and exams and all that to get certified. So she's a real deal. So congratulations to that. And thank you, Dylan, for posting that, because like I said, I see this stuff and I want to make sure that people get recognized, right? Because I think it's important. It's important that this stuff, that people get recognized for what they're doing, because they don't have to do it, right? But she's taken it upon herself to further her career, and she feels that this is important for her to get it. And I know the hotel, Dylan being a general manager, he appreciates it as well. So there you go. So that's what it's all about, right? That is what it's all about. So thank you again, Maria. And let's see. There's some stuff here that I was going to go over, and I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. Okay, so I said the U.S. ends the mask mandate, right? Hold on one second. My thing is not working. My thing. my. Oh boy. Anyway, I guess I don't have to worry about that. But I was looking because as I'm doing the show, I'm watching myself not just on the screen here on my laptop, but my phone is to the right of me, and it's on YouTube. So I just want to make sure that it's showing up the way it's showing up here. So I got like 3 things going on at one time, right? But it froze for some reason, so I'm not even gonna mess with it. I'm gonna keep it going. So let me just remove those. No mask mandate. Congratulations to Maria. And then can't go back to 2019. Now this is something that I'm not sure if you saw the show last week, but okay, hold on one second. Lonnie makes a comment. He says, I will be traveling to Canada next week for business, and I will still wear a mask on the plane. My choice. Arrive safely, work safe. That's right. So just because, CDC or whatever airlines or the travel, whoever says that, you don't have to wear one, doesn't mean if that's what you feel within you, you need to continue to wear it. I mean, because it's you that's staying safe, right? You have to take care of you. Take care of number one, right? Take care of you. Take care of your family. Everyone else, if they choose to wear them, then they choose to wear them. That's their own free will to do it, right? Just like it's your own free will not to wear one. Okay, so there you go. So Lonnie said he's gonna take it upon himself to continue to wear it. Well, there you go, Lonnie, with your bad self. So that's good. I probably will wear one too. So there you go. So and the stores have become real lax with that anyway. And I'm in LA. Okay, so But the stores and public places have become lax anyway. So although they may have on the sign on the door that mask is required, no one's wearing a mask. Okay, so like I said, hopefully we can move back to the normalcy like it was before the mask and all that stuff, and we just keep it moving. If you choose to wear it, then you choose to wear it. There you go. No one should be ridiculed either way, either wearing it or not wearing it. So let's just stay safe and just use some good judgment. So okay, back to what I was saying. So can't go back to 2019. So last week Michelle Carlin was on the show, and we were talking about. I think I asked her, "Will meetings ever go back to where they were, how they were?" And she said, "No, they can't. There's no way they can." Right? And she made a comment that, and I may be paraphrasing here, but you know how we'll just talk about hotel and group business, okay? Group business, that's 10 rooms or more, groups coming in at one time, 10 rooms on a peak night, right? So, and hotels thrive on group business because it not only gives them revenue for sleeping rooms, but it gives them, a lot of times it gives them revenue for catered functions, banquet events, things like that, right? So they know that's coming in, right? So they know that, oh, I got 100 people coming in for this dinner. They're going to do breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? So we know that, right? So that's the catering function, and hotels, they love that stuff, right? But because of the pandemic, the things that were booked in 2020 got moved, right? So they either were allowed to cancel or they were allowed to move them to new dates. Well, they moved them to like 2020, maybe 2021, maybe even 2022. But that's not new business, right? That's the same business that was booked already, and it was moved to different dates. So we're getting this false sense of, this information that, okay, that things are in the group side, things are well. Now, there may be some new business being booked on top of that, but you can't count the business that's already been booked. Okay, that's booked. That business has been booked. Just because you move it to another date in another year doesn't mean that's new business, right? So we talked about that. So basically, she was saying there's no way we can go back to 2019 because you can't use those numbers anymore because things have changed, right? So everything's changed, and then I took that a little further, right? So in fact, she shared an article with me just yesterday, I believe, or a couple of days ago, and it had to do with the Great Resignation and the Great Retirement have lowered the average age of workers, right? So during this whole from 2020 to now, people have been they've been resigning, they've been retiring, they have been terminated, whatever, they've been laid off, furloughed, however you want to put it, furloughed and then not then been laid off, right? Which means they're not coming back to work, right? So I always talk about this is one of the things I talk about as far as keeping in touch with people and how what's the best way to get to those people, right? I always say social media, right? But another tool that I always say is the email marketing campaigns, right? That we all do. Well, guess what? I didn't even think about this until Michelle sent me this article, right? So I read this article and it had to do with email campaigns, right? Well, they're flawed, right? Because 70 million people, over 70 million people have either lost their jobs, resigned, retired, and meaning those email addresses are no longer good, right? So if the email addresses are null and void, then you're sending out emails that aren't getting to the right people or not getting to anyone at all, right? So we have to redo those, right? We have to make sure we have the proper information. So all that information that we used to get, and I always say this every week, that we need to start using that information that we always gathered from our guests, right? Our guests that stay in, we get their email, we get their phones, we get all that, the company where they work. Well, guess what? They may not even work with those companies anymore. So have we gone and looked at those lists to make sure those email addresses, phone numbers, their addresses, work addresses are even still valid, right? So things have changed, right? So people always say, oh, no, it's going to get back to where it was before. No, It can, especially for marketing and things like that, for marketing purposes. So when she said that, and when she sent me that article, it was a big eye opener, right? So I was like, "You're absolutely right. OMG," right? It was one of those OMG moments. Okay, so email marketing campaigns may be flawed. Why? Why are they flawed or may be flawed? Over 70 million people have either lost their jobs, resigned, began new jobs, or have retired. So what does that mean? Different audiences, different preferences, different ways to communicate, and this culture shift is just the beginning. So with all that, this is just the beginning, right? Because we still don't know what's going to happen as far as, people, what places are they going to be in? How are we going to reach people? I always say social media is the best way to reach people, and I still think that is, regardless of what I just said here. People are still online. People are spending more time online, right? Online meaning using the internet, on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. People are spending more time on those platforms. So that hasn't changed, right? If anything, there's more people on there. And I think I read a statistic, and I always throw this out there, that people are spending like 7 more minutes on online. And I said, if you knew that, people, potential customers or potential clients or whatever, were spending 7 more minutes online, what would you do? What would your strategy be then? I mean, this is one of those situations. This is one of those aha moments. That makes sense. 70 million people don't have email address, the same email address that they used to. If they have their personal ones, you normally don't have their personal ones, right? You only have their business ones. And if they're not working, they're not valid anymore. So my suggestion is go through those to make sure those email addresses are still good. Did you know the main reason people attend conferences? What do you think the main reason that people attend conferences is? What's the main reason that people go to a conference? Is it to get that content that always seems to be crammed into a short amount of time? Is that the reason they go? Or is it to spend time with their colleagues or to reconnect and network? What is the real reason? I mean, it's probably a little bit of all of those. But I would say, from what I read, the biggest reason why people go to conferences is to reconnect with people, is to network with people in real time. Right in front of me, I can hug and touch and reach out and touch somebody, right? So that's the real reason that people go. The content and stuff, yeah, okay, they can tell their bosses that or their companies that, but the real reason is to press the flesh, to press palms, shake hands, hug, that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's what that means. So that's one of the main reasons. So, but now that people are going to have a choice, right? People are going to have a choice. Either they're going to, because I don't see, and I've been saying this, I don't see companies rushing to, in droves, start sending people out on the road. And I think we kind of alluded to that last week when I talked to Michelle, right? Because companies have seen a way to save money, okay? And I've been posting this stuff. In fact, I posted something yesterday. Meetings are going to still continue, but on a much smaller, more creative scale, right? People want to be creative on how they're going to meet. May not meet in your typical hotel, boardroom or meeting room anymore. Maybe they'll do something different, venues that are maybe outside, or venues that are unique, have a unique vibe, if you will, right? So, and I always say, if you have a unique venue, you need to let people know, because no one knows but you, right? How do you get that information out? Social media, right? Advertise, promote on social media. Lonnie says, all the above include a refresh course. All the above to include a refresh course on learning. Yes, correct. Yes, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a total new learning, a learning curve, everything. So, but yeah, so we need to make sure that, back to what I'm saying that companies are not just going to open up their wallets again and say, hey, we spent $1 million on 2019, right? And now we're still just as productive as we were in 2019, It's now 2022. So I'm gonna go out and spend the same amount of money or more because people want to travel. I just don't see that happening. I mean, that's any company, any CEO would be crazy to do that. Remember, these CEOs, they have stockholders, right? They have board of directors and stuff like that. So if we're making X amount of money, okay, without travel, then why would we continue to do travel at the same amount that we're doing? I'm not saying it's not going to continue. It will continue. But I'm just saying that it won't be the bigger conference that we've been used to seeing. I don't think that's going to happen. There's going to be a lot more, the what do you call it, hybrid meetings. Some of it's going to be, in person. Some of it's going to be virtual. That hasn't changed. I mean, Google, CES, which is a huge conference in Vegas, they've canceled their in-person meeting. They're still virtual for this year. So they were virtual in January. So you'll see next January what they're going to do, right? But that was one of the largest conventions in Vegas, right? But Google hasn't come out with theirs yet. I think it's going to be later this year, but they're contemplating still doing a virtual thing. So, and those are huge companies, right? So we're going to start watching those companies and see, okay, and other companies are going to follow suit. Watch. I mean, it's just one of those it's a copycat league, right? If one company does it, then okay, I guess we can do it too, right? So, I mean, just be patient on that and check it out. But I want to thank Michelle Carlin for just that information. She's with Alignment Advising. And then Ken Holsinger, Senior VP of Data Solutions at Freeman. Freeman does meetings, right? So they know, right? So there's an article that he wrote, and then Michelle sent to me. So I just basically just recited some of the information that he put out already. So there you go. That's it. That's what I was going to say. Of course, Russell of Hotels, I have a sponsor, and there we go. The Agua Resort in Nicaragua. I'm going to try to make it there by end of the year, right? So the plan is to make it there by end of the year. You don't have any music going here, but I just want to show it real quick. I got in trouble for the music I played last time, so I have to buy some music so I don't get dinged for it again. Because sometimes if you're showing music or if you're showing a video and you're playing music and I didn't get permission to do it, they'll just delete they'll stop my whole video, and we don't want that, right? So not at all. So I just wanted to show you guys that. And if you're going to book that particular resort, use the code RH10, which stands for Russell of Hotels number 10, right? So I think you get I don't know if there's 10% off. I don't know. Maybe that's what the 10 stands for. I don't know. But anyway, quick thank you. I just mentioned her name a little while ago, but a quick thank you to Miss Michelle Carlin with Alignment Advising, not Alignment Advisement. Why did I say that? Alignment of Advising. So go alignmentadvising.com and you get more information about Miss Michelle. We talked about leadership, jobs, customer service last week. It was a great show. She's been on the show I think that was her 6th time. So we're looking forward to a 7th time. So thank you again, Michelle. I do appreciate you coming on and just the conversation we've had after. And check out follow her on LinkedIn, and make sure you get on her email list because she sends out great newsletters with good information and all that kind of stuff. So just make sure some of the stuff we talked about just today, some of that stuff is highlighted in her newsletter. So check it out. So these are 3 things that I always talk about. Be intentional, make decisions, and take action on what's important to you or what's important to me, right? You can personalize it if you like. Number 2, be you, be authentic. You know how they always say, just be authentic. You need to be authentic. That means be real, okay? So be you. Don't come on trying to be somebody else. Just be you. I can barely be Russell, okay? I can't be somebody else, right? So just be you. And number 3, be represented because your representation or my representation matters. To me, it matters that people that look like me are doing this show or talking about what I talk about. Hospitality-wise, food-wise, food eat, non-meat eats. It's important because people need to know, there's people who look like him that eat non-meat eats. Yeah, there are quite a few actually, right? And there's people within the hospitality space as well. So it's just important to me. That's one of the things that like I said, I'm gonna be intentional about things that I do. I'm gonna continue to be me, and I'm gonna continue to be represented. So there you go. Let's see, the second one, how to buy a hotel. Now, you talk about somebody that's being them, their authentic self. That's Davon Reeves, how to buy a hotel. So if you're interested in buying a hotel, she does these workshops, seminars, what do you call them? The Zoom seminars, Zoom conferences, whatever. She does all that stuff, right? So you don't have to go. She's actually based in Atlanta, but you don't have to be in Atlanta to do one. You can do one of her Zoom conferences because I've done one before. So, and buy her book, How to Buy a Hotel. Davon Reeves. Just Google Davon Reeves, How to Buy a Hotel, and you can buy her book from her. So there you go. So I always want to make sure I give her a shout out. Signing off. Dinner event at 5. I didn't want to miss your show and topics. Great job, Russell of Hotels. Be well, be safe. See you next Tuesday. Thank you so much, Lonnie. That was a comment from Lonnie. Like I said, I always welcome the comments. We're an interactive show here. So thank you so much, Lonnie. Appreciate that. Have a good time at your dinner. And make sure there's some non-meat eats too, right? You know, I'm tired of going to these dinners and I have to beg for non-meat eats. I'm just joking. I just thought I'd throw that in there. He talked about food. And I mentioned this already. Who's your best brand advocate? I guess I was a little bit ahead of myself. But you are your best brand advocate. If, like I said, if no one believes, if you don't believe what you're talking about or what you're doing, then no one else is going to believe it too. So make sure it starts with you and then it trickles to everyone else, right? So next. Increase social media engagement. How do you do that? As I take a drink of water. So 1 second, please. It's amazing when you're doing the show I don't have a guest, right? When you're doing the show by yourself and the amount that you're talking, you don't really realize until your mouth becomes dry, right? So yeah, I guess I am talking a lot. But you would think, because I talk a lot all the time, right? But my mouth doesn't get dry other than on the show. Why is that? I mean, I talk all the time, but I never I got to get some water because I can't. I'm parched. Why is that? I don't get that. But anyway, how do you increase your social media engagement? Be consistent, okay? You can't post one time and say, oh, this is it. I'm going to get all this business or my brand's going to get out there. People are going to know what I do. That's not right. That's not realistic. It's never going to happen that way, okay? Unless you happen to be a mega star, okay? So it has happened for some people. I'm not saying that it is totally impossible, but I would guarantee you most people that watch the show are not mega stars, okay? And I'm not one. So I'm talking about consistency. So be consistent. Don't just post one time. But whatever your schedule is, if that's once a day, if that's once a week, if that's twice a week, 3 times, whatever it is, stick to the schedule. But don't expect, a lot of results because people are looking for something consistent, okay? And because you want to be top of mind, right? So if I guarantee you, if I posted once a week, I wouldn't have this show. I wouldn't get the viewership that I get now. There's no way that would even happen. So be consistent. I post every day on some channel every single day, okay? With some platform, if that's Instagram, if that's LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. I post on one of those 5 every single day, okay? And more than likely, if I post one thing on one, I'm posting on all of them. So you just have to be consistent. So there's no substitute for consistency. Value. Make sure you're adding something. Make sure there's a value, giving someone the value. So if I plan meetings and I'm talking about meetings and that resonates with someone in the audience, well, that's good, right? So because you're never gonna. I listen to this girl. Her name is Nikki Saunders, right? She's on LinkedIn. But I found her on She's doing Clubhouse a while back, and then she does a lot of Instagram things. She, in fact, every night she does like an Instagram live talking about, just the same things I'm talking about: consistency, value, increase your social media engagement and stuff like that. And she said, always add value. She said, but remember this: everybody's not gonna rock with you, right? Everyone's not gonna like you. Everyone's not gonna like what you post or what you say or like you. So it is what it is. But she goes, there's someone in your audience or someone in your community that does rock with you, or that will, that vibes with you, or does like what you're saying. They understand you, whatever. So that's the people that you're speaking with. Of course, we all want to, have a following or a community that everyone goes along with you. But is that really realistic? Is that the world we live in? No, it's not the world we live in. So I know for a fact that everything I post, everyone doesn't like. But you got to have thick skin, right? That's just in life, right? Everyone doesn't like me in life. And guess what? I don't like everybody else in life either. So just remember that social media is just like it is life, right? And people are people. So be consistent. Make sure you're adding value to somebody, right? You're not going to add value to everyone. And then to be authentic again. So be real. Don't be fake. I can't come on here saying, well, this and that, and I did this. No. That's not how I talk. That's not how I'm going to be, right? So be you. Be consistent. Add value, and be real. Okay, because people will be able to read right through it and like, Russell's being fake. All of a sudden, Russell really, he was really cool and down to earth. Now he's wearing a suit and tie and he's talking crazy now. That's not me, right? So you'll know if something's wrong, okay? So now that you know those three things, what do you use? What tools could you use? Use IG Reels. IG Reels are videos that are paired with music, and you want to try to get trending music, okay? Trending music, because that's what people look for. For whatever reason, has nothing to do with your video these days, or at least when you're doing the reels. It has everything to do with the music that you select. Sometimes I just select music just because, and sometimes it does do well, but there are actual songs that are trending. And if you ever looked at if you're on Instagram and you go to the IG Reels section, or you click the button at the bottom and you see all the different reels that are there that people have posted. If there's an arrow next to the song, like an arrow pointing in, that means that's a trending song. So you can look at that, you can click on that, and you can actually save that to your Instagram, right? You can save that, and then you can play it later for a reel that you're gonna do. So yeah, if you have any questions about that, you can always feel free to reach out to me, because that's what I'm here to do. I'm here for all of that, right? I'm here to educate and let people know, because guess what? Someone taught me how to do it. I didn't just wake up one day and all of a sudden I knew how to do all this stuff. No, I watch a lot of videos. I watch Nikki, and she teaches me stuff, and and not just me, but other people as well. And then I do lives, right? So I do lives at least 3 times a week, IG lives, or you can do YouTube lives. You can do lives on LinkedIn if they give you access to do that. You can do Facebook lives. You can do TikTok lives. You can do lives anywhere, right? But it's another way of getting your brand out there. So I do the show, right? This On Air with Russell of Hotels. This is once a week. So I couldn't just rely on that, right? So I need something to support the show. So I post things to support the show. I do IG Reels to support the show. I do IG Lives or lives on other platforms to support the show, right? So everything kind of like this vicious cycle. The show, IG Reels, the lives, the posting, they all go around and support each other, right? Because there's no way you would know who I was if I just did one thing. I mean, it's just, and you're reaching multiple people, right? So I always think about it like this. If I post something, it's not going to reach everybody. So I got to continue to post things, because there's other people that maybe didn't see that posting, or, didn't resonate with everyone. So I just want to continue to post, because something that I post is going to resonate with somebody. So that's what I do. That's the advice I would give, to do multiple things. If you're afraid to do IG Reels, you can ask someone to do it. If you're afraid to do a live by yourself, you can ask someone to do a live with you. And the benefit of that is that, let's say I had 1,500 followers on IG, and then the person that I want to do live with, they had 1,500. Now, now that's 3,000 people, right? So now you have the potential to reach 3,000 people because you're doing it, you're collaborating, right? It's not just you. So I try to make sure that I collaborate as much as I can, because I'm not only getting my followers, but their followers too, right? So you want to make their followers your followers, and vice versa. Because last week I did one, I did a IG live with Marette Padavani last week. She's in Switzerland, right? She has a total different following than I do. Excuse me. After it was over, she posted it, right? So, and now I'm getting all these connections with people that are following now. They're only following me now because we did that collaboration. So I got maybe like 10 new people that now follow me, and of course I follow them back, right? Just because of that reel that we did, or just because of the live that her and I did together, right? So it's about the collaboration. So make sure if you don't want to do it by yourself, I understand, but get someone else to do it with you. And that way you reach a lot more people than just if you did it by yourself. So that's just some advice there. Who's hiring? I did have some things. And hold on one second. Okay. Kamala Hotels. You guys thought I was going to say Kamala Harris, huh? No. Kamala, Kamla Hotels. They're based here in the Los Angeles area, specifically Cerritos, California. Okay, so Cerritos is, I don't know, about 20 minutes. It's near Long Beach. It's about 25 minutes from Los Angeles. So it's not far. It's a suburb. So Kamla Hotels, and they have several hotels. They have quite a few hotels like near Disneyland, smaller hotels, limited service or select service hotels, like a Hilton Garden Inn, Residence Inn, things like that. So they've been around for a little while, but they're looking for a corporate director of sales. Okay, so that's Kamla Hotels in Cerritos, looking for a corporate director of sales. USC Hospitality, now that's University of Southern California. They have a hotel there, right? They have meeting space, a conference center, things like that, right? So they operate all this stuff. So they're looking for front office manager and front desk agent. So somewhere within their USC Hospitality, they're looking for that. I'm not sure if that's at the hotel or that's somewhere on campus. So, but anyway, check that out. In-N-Out. In-N-Out, the burger place. In-N-Out. That's what a hamburger's all about. You know them? Okay. They're a multi-billion-dollar company, right? So they're looking for an executive events planner, okay, a meeting planner. They're looking for someone to plan their meetings, their corporate meetings and all that kind of stuff, right? So they're in Irvine, which is in Orange County. That's, south of LA. I almost say that's probably about 40, 50 miles. I'm just going to throw that out there. But yeah, In-N-Out, the burger place, is looking for executive events planner. Did you know they're woman-owned? Did you know In-N-Out is owned by a woman? Did you know that? Did you guys know that? No, you didn't know that, right? So, well, shout out to her. I can't think of what her name is. Her last name is Snyder. I just can't remember her first name. But and she's young. I want to say she's like in her 30s, maybe late 30s now. Okay, so look it up and see if I know what I'm talking about. TikTok, TikTok, the social media platform. They're looking for a travel manager. Okay, so these companies are getting back to travel, right? They're getting back to that BT travel, that is it called BT? Business travel. Yeah, BT, business travel. So they're looking for a travel manager. So TikTok is looking for that. And then UCLA Luskin Conference Center, they're looking for a director of sales and marketing. Now, I don't know what's going on over there, but that position's been open several times, okay? Several times in the last 6 months. I don't know what's going on. I'm just saying. I mean, there's certain things that I remember that they keep popping up. and that's one of them. So I don't know what's going on there, but there's never, and I don't want to say, I ain't trying to throw nobody under the bus. I don't know what's going on over there, but there's never a good thing when one position, one job, one company or organization, maybe they never hired for that position. Maybe they didn't. Let's just say they didn't. Okay, but I would question that. Why is this position at this particular organization always coming up every month, month and a half? Okay, so I mean, just something to think about if you apply for that position and you get an interview. Why does this position keep coming up? That'd be a question I ask. Westmont Hospitality, they're looking for a corporate director of sales and marketing, and they're based here in Los Angeles, I believe. Kimpton Hotels within the LA area, they're looking for an area DOSM as well, director of sales and marketing. And then Raging Waters, the theme park, the water park, they're looking for a director of sales and marketing as well. Raging Waters in San Dimas, which is out there in the IE. That's the Inland Empire. That's east of Los Angeles. That's like I'll say about 40 miles east on the 10 freeway, somewhere around there. Non-meat eats. Now hold on a second. As I take a drink of water. Man. Okay. Now I wasn't able to talk about non-meat eats last week because we had a guest, right? So I've been to probably two places, and then I got some food delivered to me that I was able to prepare myself, right? So I have to share all this with you. It's so exciting. So a couple Sundays ago, we went to this place called Vegan Castle. Okay, it was vegan sushi. I mean, they got the dynamite rolls, the dragon rolls. Looks just like regular sushi that you get at any sushi place, right? Well, it's 100% vegan, all plant-based. I mean, and delicious. I mean, you had shrimp, you had everything, but it's not shrimp, right? It's all plant-based. It's in Long Beach. So look it up, Vegan Castle. Check it out. It's in this unassuming building. It has no signage. Like I said, the name is called Vegan Castles, but if I didn't have the address, I never would have found it because there's no big sign that says, "Hey, this is it, Vegan Castle sushi." Doesn't say that. It's in an old building that there was a Mexican restaurant before, because on the side of the building is like, how it's painted, and they paint the what is it called? Like the YouTube channel and their Twitter handle and all that stuff on there on the side of it. So that's how I know that it used to be a Mexican restaurant. And then when I parked, I'm like, is this the right place? So we had to actually walk in and say, hey, is this Vegan Castle? Yeah, come on in. So obviously there's a following, right? People know, but the first time you go, you be kind of like, is this the right place? But when I mean the food was lit or fire or bomb, whatever, adjectives you want to use, it was that, right? I mean, it was very good. There's people coming in there. We're the only ones actually eating in the restaurant, but people were coming in, a lot of to-go orders, things like that, right? I mean, it was crazy. So, I mean, but the food is really good. I mean, I would suggest if you're in that Long Beach area, if you're in LA, you're looking for some vegan sushi, Vegan Castle is the joint. Okay, so check that out. Another one, Alac, and that's spelled AULAC. Alac is in downtown LA. It's kind of a Vietnamese fusion vegan, but I got this, what did I get? You got it's like this fried shrimp. It looks like shrimp. It's fried like shrimp. It tastes like shrimp, but it's not shrimp. It's crazy too. And excuse me. Also, I got the vegan calamari. The calamari rings. It looks just like that, and it's so crunchy and crispy and flavorful. You gotta go. It's downtown Los Angeles. It's on First Street, right near the court building or the Mark Taper Theater. Is right in that same area, right down the street from the Disney Theater. It's right. No, is it Disney Theater or Yeah, next to the Disney theaters on the same street, First Street. I mean, Lock, downtown LA. You gotta try it. That's good too. And then, have you ever heard of Atlas Monroe? Atlas Monroe is a company out of San Diego, or Chula Vista specifically. Chula Vista is right outside of San Diego. They do this. They do a lot of different stuff. But what I got, I had dinner at Alak with a friend of mine, David London, right, a couple Mondays ago, and he was going on about this. He was going on about this Atlas Monroe, right? And I'm like, okay, all right, what's the deal with this? He said, you have to try it. So what he did, I guess he wanted to make sure I was going to try it, right? So he sent me a package, right? So he actually sent me a package from Atlas Monroe. It came with this vegan fried chicken and ribs, vegan ribs, right? Like ribs, like spare ribs or baby backs or whatever. They look probably more like spare ribs than anything. So they're not cooked, but they're already, like, the chicken's already breaded. All you have to do is either fry it or cook it in the oven or use the air fryer. Okay, one of the two. So what I did was I tried it. I fried like maybe 3 of them and then cooked the rest in the air fryer because I just wanted to see what the consistency was, right? If it would still be as crispy if I cooked it in the air fryer. When I say that stuff was so good, and it comes with this dipping sauce, it's kind of like a honey mustard, but it can't be honey because that's not vegan. So maybe it was like a mustard and I can't think of the other thing, agave. Maybe it's something like that. But when I say the sauce is the boss, that stuff was so good. I ate it in the sandwich, okay? And then the ribs, they don't have like a bone or anything in them, right? So I cut them up so they look like, I'm not sure if you guys know what rib tips look like, but they're basically the top of the rib. If you cut some of the meat out before you get to the baby back, I guess like the St. Louis ribs, you cut them and they would make, like baby back ribs or whatever. But it's that piece right there, right? So they're kind of like rib tips, but it doesn't matter. Those were good too, right? I mean, they were smoky. They had like applewood smoked. I mean, I don't know what they're doing over there, but they're doing it right. And this stuff you can order and they deliver to your house, right? So the story with Atlas Monroe is it's a black lady that owns it, right? So it's minority owned. It's in Chula Vista. They were on Shark Tank, okay? So they were on Shark Tank, and Mark Cuban offered this lady $1 million. She turned it down. Last year, they did over $2 million in sales. So I said, that's probably a good idea that she turned it down, and she didn't have to split anything. She owns 100% of the company, right? So yeah, Atlas Monroe, Atlas as in Charles Atlas, Atlas, Monroe, Monroe. So atlasmonroe.com. If you're interested, check it out. I mean, seriously, it was good. Dylan makes a comment. Do the establishments you promote while dining ever reach out and thank you? Yes, they do. Yeah, not all of them, but yeah, a good percentage of them do. Probably most of them do. But every now and then, some of them, they don't even. I don't even think they look at their social media sometimes. But they need to, right? And sometimes I'll, make it a point to say, hey, if it's really good, if I really had a great time, the experience and everything was good, I'll tell them that what I'm going to do. Because there's this place called Brothers Meatballs, which is in Hollywood. And the stuff was so good. I told the girl that I was going to, post something. And of course, she thanked me and blah, blah, blah. And then I posted it and she made a comment and we kept like a conversation going and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so most people do, they do acknowledge that, thank you for the post and all that kind of stuff. But this place, like I said, Atlas Monroe, Alak, and Vegan Castle, great. Okay. And there's a lot of places I go to you guys will never even hear about because I don't like the food, right? But the ones that I do, I'm going to tell you. And those are 3 things that were great. So there you go. Spent enough time on that one, right? Man, I'm getting hungry now. I think, you know what? I'm going to go get me some vegan sushi. It's like 20 minutes, 25 minutes with no traffic. But you know what? It's worth it. I'm going. I'm a brand show off. So Dylan just alluded to that. So my job is to go out and show off people's brands, right? If that's a food brand, although that's not, I'm Russell of Hotels, right? But I am a non-meat eats person, right? So if I'm showing off any brand at all, it's always going to be a non-meat eats, meaning it's vegan or it's 100% plant-based, because that's what I am. That's my experience, and I won't, go against that, right? So if you look at any of my postings, I don't post the mainstream food. Let's just say that I don't post the mainstream food. I only post the stuff that I eat, right? So I mean, because that's me being real, right? That's another thing, being authentic. If I started, posting, real steaks and this porterhouse was good and this ribeye was delicious, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Now, if I'm with someone, they need to post their own stuff, okay? But with someone and they're eating that, because some places do have, vegan options, right? It may be a mainstream restaurant, but they have some vegan options. Like there's this place in it's called Harold and Bales. It's a Creole soul food place, which is in LA, right? I haven't been there in years because they didn't have anything for me to eat. Well, guess what? Fast forward to like 3 months ago, I see they do some advertising and they say they have vegan options. I'm like, Harold and Bales has vegan options. They have vegan red beans and rice, vegan gumbo, and then they call it vegan chicken, and they call it chicken, but chicken bites or whatever. But it's actually fried mushrooms, like what do you call them? I can't think of the mushroom now, but they're fried mushrooms, right? Oyster mushrooms. Man, you're talking about something good. And the red beans and rice, because normally they put meat in the red beans and rice, or they cook them in some type of baking fat, something like that. Well, they don't do that for the vegan stuff, right? So I'm there now. Now that's more money that they're making. And it just kind of ticks me out that hotels or restaurants don't take it that step further to get more business in, because people that eat plant-based, they don't care what the price is. They'll still eat it, right? They'll still order it because they appreciate that you even have it. They have something to eat, right? They can eat with the regular people, right? So, it's nothing to, fry up some cauliflower. You know what I mean? Put some batter together, fry up some cauliflower, and put it out there. You can charge damn near whatever you want to charge, right? Because people are still going to eat it. So, but anyway, let me get off that soapbox. But Dylan says, wonderful times we're in when you can have all your favorite food vices without the meat. Yes, you rep the lifestyle well, my friend. Thank you so much, Dylan. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I'm all about the non-meat eats, right? Hashtag non-meat eats. I'm about to get a shirt made with that too. So let's continue, because it's like 2 minutes, and I spend so much time on food, you would think I was in here eating. So I'm a brand show off. So like I said, my job is I do content creating, right? But what I mean by brand show off, I'm doing content creating for brands, and I'm showing off that brand. I also show off my own brand, Russell of Hotels, right? But hotels, tourism boards, and like I said, some places that have the non-meat eats, I show them off too. So that's one thing that I do. So I'm all about hotels, tourism, and non-meat eats. I alluded to this a little while ago, hotel site selection. I have an agency or company, or I'm a site selection specialist, however you want to put that, where I assist companies and organizations with finding the right hotel site or hotel venue for their next meeting, conference, convention, board meeting, whatever. 10 rooms or more. 10 rooms is considered a group. I've done up to 500 rooms on peak before. So I can do all of that. And then I'm a show host, right? So like right now, On Air with Russell of Hotels. That's a hospitality talk show. And as you can see right here next to me, top 30 podcasts for hospitality 2021, and then top 25 social media influencers in the hospitality space for 2021 as well. So I always want to make sure I throw that stuff out there. Contact information, if you want to get a hold of me for anything at all, please feel free. Russell@russellofhotels.com is my email address. and or you can DM me, direct message, slide into my DMs, or send me a message on whatever platform you're on. I'm gonna answer it. So you can email me. You can even go to my website, russellofhotels.com, and my phone number is there. So if you want to call me and whatever, you can call me. I mean, people do that too. Because I always wonder, like, sometimes, how'd you get my number? Well, it's on your website. Like, oh, yeah, that's right. Well, not everybody uses it. Oh, did I tell you that I found my glasses too? They're under the couch, right? I mean, it's been like a month. I was wearing some readers that I got from like Rite Aid, right? So I lost my what do you call it? My remote control, TV remote control, went through the cracks of my couch, right? And then I had to lift it up and get it. And guess what was right next to it? My glasses. So there you go. So you got the story. Let's see. Where else am I? Follow me on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube, please. I would appreciate that. One thing to always ask yourself, what are you doing to keep your brand relevant? Is your brand staying relevant? What are you doing? How do you know people know that you're there? Are you posting like Dylan does? Are you posting like the general manager at the Fairfield Inn in Eugene, Oregon, right outside of University of Oregon campus? Are you posting things about the cleanliness of your hotel, the things that you're being awarded for, his staff, the young lady Maria who just received her, excuse me, her CHHE distinction. She's a certified hospitality housekeeping executive now. Do you guys post things like that? Those are the things that make it personal. Like, oh my God, Maria got this. I'm gonna stay there because the place has to be clean, right? And all the comments that he posts, right? So he's not shy to post, to get these comments from guests and to post them on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. I mean, that does so much for his brand. Is ridiculous, and it just I don't want to say it kills me, but it's free. You can do it. I don't understand why people don't take advantage of that. That's a way to get your brand out there. So guess where? If I ever go to Oregon, the University of Oregon, guess where I'm staying? I'm staying at Dylan's Hotel because I don't know any other hotel. I don't know any other GM. I know Dylan and I know the Fairfield Inn in Eugene. Okay, that's where I'm staying because he posts things. It's easy to verify that these people are doing what they're doing, right? So that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I got a personal connection with Dylan, so there you go. And not to mention that he's, chiming in on the show too. But, you have to put your brand out there. Dylan's not just Dylan doesn't even realize that he's putting his brand out there too, meaning his personal brand. Okay, Dylan Beaumont. Okay, it starts with him. Okay, how I say it starts at the top and works the way down. Okay, starts at the top. Now he's the top. He's the general manager, right? So if the GM is doing this stuff, why can't you do it? That's all I'm saying. I'm so proud of Maria. She's such a dedicated professional. I'm honored to have her on my team. Yes. Maria seems great. So thank you so much. And I appreciate you posting it because that's, it's, to me, these days it just seems easy to do that, to post things. And that's not necessarily just boasting about your staff and all. Well, I guess it is, yeah, because you're proud of them, right? And you should do it, and you should be proud of your staff. So, forget what I was saying. Yeah, you should be proud. You should boast about your staff, because the world needs to know, or people that are on the fence or where to stay, if they happen to see that posting, that Maria or the other ones that you posted about your staff and the awards that they have received for cleanliness and service, and the comments that you posted last week about they love how clean it was, they love the free breakfast in the morning and how well presented it was. Those are things that people want to see. Okay, so man, you're right on time here, Dylan. I'm getting worked up. I'm getting my second win now. What is your SSI score? You know what? I'm not going to go over that like I normally would. I will show the chart. That's what it looks like. This is me 70 out of 100. And if you can look at the 22 out of 100 for people within my industry, and then the 44 out of 100 on the other side. But I won't go into detail with that today. The Russell of Hotels 3 Ps: purpose, know why you're doing what you do, passion, either you have it or you don't. And if you don't have it, you need to do something else, okay? Find something else to do if you don't have passion, because people will see it. You know, I can see Dylan has a passion for being a general manager, right? Because he's posting stuff. He's letting people know that, hey, this is my place. I'm proud of it. Because guess what? If you're not the advocate, no one else is going to believe you. If you're not a good brand advocate, no one's going to believe that your brand is good. Okay? I believe Dylan's brand is good because why? Because it started with him and he's posting about it. Okay? So that's it. So Dylan has a passion, right? He knows his purpose. And what's the perseverance part? I forgot. What's the perseverance? Be consistent. Continue to evolve. Don't give up. And swerve when you need to. So if you need to, you know, if you're in it and you need to swerve around it, or you see it coming and you need to swerve, that's what you need to do, right? Don't pivot. Swerve, okay? Swerving means you're already in the crap, but you see you're in it, but you see some crap coming your way. Well, do you go head on to the crap, or do you try to avoid the crap? You got to avoid the crap, right? So that's what perseverance is to me, right? Be consistent, continue to evolve, don't give up, and swerve when you need to, okay? So those are the things that we need to do. One last time, Nicaragua, thinking about it, the Nicaragua Oceanfront Resort, check it out. I'm going to try to make it there by the end of the year, if not sooner, but I have some other trips I have to take, so that may be a reason why. No, I'm getting there this year, right? I want to get there sooner than later, but I don't think I can get there any sooner than maybe the last quarter of this year, because I have some other things that are coming up, right? So I got like 3 trips next month that I have to take, right? So then I got a family reunion that I plan that I have to go to, and all this kind of stuff. So it's gonna take me to it's gonna be the last quarter, but I'm gonna make it there, and you best believe I'm gonna do a show from there, okay, from Nicaragua. Okay, so there you go. Next week I'm gonna have a guest here, and this is Dylan. You know, Dylan has been on me, Paula. You know, and I'm not going to try to pronounce her last name because I always butcher it. So I'm going to say Paula C. Miss Paula C. with Ask Sweet Hotel Chatbot will be on. She's a global speaker. She's a top 20 hospitality exec to watch in 22. She's a top 25 social media influencers, hospitality 2021. She's the real deal. I was on her show. She interviewed me maybe about a month ago. Had a great time. And she's kind of funny, okay? So I was doing a live last week with Miss Cheryl Rogers, which I do it's called What the Hell on Instagram on Fridays at like 5 p.m., right? And Paula, who was in Brazil, she was, you know, kind of listening and making comments, right? So she's trying to make some funny comments. So I think she's a bit of a comedian. She may have lost her she may have, missed her calling. You know, I think she thinks she's a comedian. So I'm going to have fun with her being on the show. So you want to make sure that you are on. Next week is going to be 1 o'clock next Tuesday, PST, of course. We're going to have Miss Paula C. on the show next week. And Dylan, she's always been on my radar to have her on the show. But, you know, timing and everything and people's schedule, you know, you have to, you know, wait for people to become available. But Dylan said, I need to have Paula on your show. Okay. All right. Well, Dylan, here you go. All right. So, and then Dylan says, these are indeed days where you breeze right by your intended end time. Let it roll. Did I miss something? Yes, let it roll. Okay. Maybe I missed something, Dylan. I'm sure. I'm sorry. But yeah, but Miss Paula C. will be on the show next week. So I'm looking forward to having her there. And like I said, just there's a great natural dynamic when you speak with her. I look forward to this friendliness all around the world. Yes. Yes, Paula is. Yes, like I said, she's the real deal. She's funny. Um, yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be. We're gonna have a good time with her on the show. Like I said, she interviewed me. It was great. I love the questions that she asked. So we're gonna have a good time. So, but anyway, that's it. I'm sorry I went over maybe 10 minutes, but hey, that's how it goes when you get, when you're interactive and, I get on the side note about food, obviously you can see what the passion is, right? Is eating and the non-meat eats, right? Especially you got three options now, three more options. Man, oh man, I'm getting hungry right now. So anyway, you guys have a great week. Thank you so much for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels. I'm gonna have Cheryl Rogers take us out. That's Cheryl Rogers, the voice that's coming up right now.
Thank you for joining.
There you go.
On
so you guys
Air
have a
with
great week.
Russell of Hotels.
See you next week.
Please
Taco
tune
Tuesday.
in every Tuesday
Peace.
at 1 p.m. as we talk to other hospitality professionals. Your feedback is important to Russell. Feel free to email him at russell@russellofhotels.com with any questions or suggestions. Until next time, try not to be a person of success. Rather, become a person of great value.